There's got to be a
Crypto
tabletop
bursary.
RPGs
No, no
where you
thanks.
where you just play crypto. That could be in Blades in the Dark. It's supposed to be about terrible people doing terrible things. We
There you
could do
go.
Blades in the Dark, but it's all
Now I
crypto.
just need to sell you this NFT.
First up on the show, we're going to do a mechanically speaking, which is always fun. We love talking about mechanics.
We do.
Reminds us of the old days, back in our day.
Back in the old days.
On this particular one, though, we're going to be talking about money. That's right.
How much we don't have?
All of it.
Oh, damn.
So there was a question. I believe you actually posted this.
Did I?
Yeah.
I did. I found it on the Reddit.
Would you like to tell people what it is?
Oh, I'm not looking at it right now, so go ahead.
Okay. Why have more than one currency in your game? What are the advantages of having different currencies in a single-player game? For example, let's say that you buy a weapon, you need X credits and Y weapon parts. Why not just ask the player X plus Y credits and base your reward just around credits? I kind of get what they're talking about here because I've occasionally gotten the thing where it's like I could just you're gonna make me go and like buy the parts, so I have the parts in addition to the credits. Why couldn't I just use just the credits?
Yeah, I think it'd be easier to simplify their question to be more along the lines of why do games have multiple currencies? Like single player games specifically, there's not a really big reason for it. Maybe you've got your currency to buy items, and then you have a currency like maybe this faction uses a specific currency that they award for like doing quests or whatever. So it's only available to get rewards through them or like credit with them. That makes sense.
Sure.
But like a lot of games will do the multiple currencies just to make it so you have more to grind.
Oh, I mean, I love grinding so much.
Yeah, everybody does. I know you played a little bit of Diablo Immortal.
Yep.
To see what that was like. And I know back whenever Josh Strife Hayes did a video about it, it had like 22 different currencies.
Oh, I think they probably added more since then, so... Yeah.
And most of them were premium that you had to take one currency to turn into another currency, to turn into a third currency, and able to do things. And that's just a way to make people spend money.
Right. It's at a certain point, it's like just trying. Like I can't buy things with pennies. I have to convert the pennies to dimes, and then I have to convert the dimes to dollars, and then I have to convert the dollars to crypto. Apparently, because that's the world we live in. I can't just buy things. I need Bitcoin. That's the kind of thing, and for the same basic reason, greed. But the thing is, a lot of those currencies, just in a general framework, are for the reason you're talking about, the premium currencies. You have to use real world currency just to buy the in-game currency that's then worth more than the other in-game currency to buy different things. And that's a whole microtransaction discussion in itself. I am curious about the idea of just as a mechanic in the game having multiple currencies, apart from all of that, like buying it specifically or transferring from real world currency to in-game.
I don't mind it so much if it's done for a reason. Say World of Warcraft has your normal currency of gold and silver and copper, which is fine. That's normal. I consider that all one currency. But then they also have currencies for different expansions or different factions in there, but they kind of make more sense. Say you're in Legion and you have the currency that is used to go on missions and stuff for that campaign thing they did, and it's only usable in that expansion. So that makes sense to me because, you're doing this thing with the war supplies. You need it to do missions, you need to send your troops off, you can buy upgrades and stuff, but you can only use it for that. Or, say, the Marks of Honor for doing PvP.
Sure.
You can only get those through doing PvP. So you get those marks and you can buy items related to that. So in that case, those are Those are fine. They're not egregious to me. You don't have to pay for them. You have to get them through playing, doing specific things. And as rewards, you can get other specific things.
I was listening not too long ago to Adventure Zone, and they have a campaign that they're doing right now called Steeplechase, which is in the Blades in the Dark. The concept is that there's this theme park that they're trying to, do a lot of jobs inside of, called Eustaben. One of the mechanics that they have in the game is that they visit different layers of this theme park that are all themed differently. Each of those layers has its own currency specific to that layer.
Well, are they separated out by a vast distance or a way to get there?
Not a vast distance. But they're thematically all different in terms of what they offer for people that are visiting.
Okay.
So there's a different kind of currency that they utilize that is themed essentially for those. So you can't use one currency for another thing, which feels very theme parky. That feels very on brand for trying to get people to
you've got the wrong tickets to get this toy.
Anyone who's ever been to an arcade knows, here's the tickets that you need to get. You can't just buy it with dollars. You got to get the tickets from the thing so that you can buy it.
You got to spend your dollars on the coins to get the tickets.
Right. So thematically, I understand how that works.
You spend $25 on tokens, and you're not going to get $25 worth of prizes.
That's why they do it that way.
Yeah.
But
in video games and in tabletop games, you don't have to. You could have a 1-for-1 if you really wanted to. It's a matter of how you get the alternate currencies.
So I think that from a mechanics standpoint, at least, if we were looking at this, how you would utilize it in game, the one reason I would say multiple currencies would make sense is if there's an actual practical reason why you would have it, but more importantly is if I have to get those currencies through certain means. I can figure that for rewards for jobs, I might be given gold or dollars or whatever currency you're using in the game. But if there are upgrades specific to weaponry and that thing, I would not want them to be rewarded in the same regard. I would hope that I'd have to, scavenge for those kinds of parts that essentially worked as currency, that I would have to engage with another system in the game in order to accrue those. So that it would encourage me to explore those other systems of the game. For instance, when we were playing D&D, technically D&D has one currency, right? It's got gold.
There's other currencies in there too, but
but it all,
I know money.
Money. Yeah, it all roots back to you could convert it to gold.
Electrum.
Or electrum, right? No one uses, or platinum. It all roots from the same basic currency in the same way that we have dollars and cents. But when we went to a mine, we were able to get, silver? And we were able to get that by mining, because we had brought mine picks, and we, did skill checks, and we were in the right area to do that, so we got a raw resource. If there was a usefulness to that raw silver that you could utilize in a way that money is not useful, then that currency, as essentially a resource to be used, makes more sense. Because now I have to do something specific. I have to explore the world to locate something specific in order to achieve this goal, more than just accrue money. But what I would say is that if we're going to do that, then raw silver or gold or a power crystal or whatever you're doing can't be a reward for a mission in the same way like money is. I can't go to a mission board and say, oh, it happens to be exactly the currency, exactly the material I need in order to build the thing that I have. It has to be I go to a place and I actively do something, work with another system in order to utilize it. That's my thinking on it. Otherwise, it's just needlessly trying to convert things.
Yeah, it's just grinding the time you're playing. For video games specifically, tabletop, yeah, you can still do that. I don't see it as prevalent in tabletop, however.
Uh, no, I mean, I have not played something like a Rogue Trader, but I keep thinking to myself that maybe in a trading game it would make sense to have multiple currencies that...
Rogue Trader, you never really dealt with currency itself.
Got it.
You dealt with a wealth rating.
Oh, okay, so it's still, it's even more abstract at that point.
Yeah, it was more abstract because you were dealing with enough money to buy a fleet of like ships, essentially. You weren't dealing with the, oh, I need a single thing. You were dealing with the, I need like 200,000 of these things.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was like, we're not going to give you actual, like, here's $5. It's like you have a wealth rating, and what you can acquire easily is based on that rating.
If you had a trading game where there were multiple currencies and the value fluctuated, like you actually made a market for it, I could kind of see the usefulness that, you know, I buy into this thing and, you know, then maybe it's worth more, less down the line. But you could do that with commodities trading just as easily.
Yeah.
However, I don't really think that sounds like a very fun game if that's like the main game.
Who knows? Depends what you do.
I guess so.
If any in the comments knows any great trading and economy-based games, let us know.
Give me a trading RPG. I need a role-playing game where we are just Wall Street bros. Give me that. Crypto Bros. There's got to be a tabletop RPGs.
No. No thanks.
Where you just play crypto. That could be in Blades in the Dark. It's supposed to be about terrible people doing terrible things. We could do Blades in the Dark, but it's all...
Now, I just need to sell you this NFT.
Yeah, just sell... Yeah. Bored apes as currency.
Great.
Perfect. That's the other currency. But, see, you can buy that with regular currency. It will be like that restaurant that you couldn't get into unless you had an NFT that told them that you were allowed in, like a pass. It could be like that. Yes.
We're not going to talk about it.
No. Anyway, just know, the future is horrible. I'm going to put up a little thing. It's like the more you know.
Bury your gold.
Bury your goal and hope it's still worth something. Shinies. Always good shinies. If you have another reason why you might want to use multiple currencies or what kind of currencies you'd like to see in games, please let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, just stick to the one. I think have like a combination of like our monetary system and then also a barter system. Do like Catan, where I can barter for this resource instead of this other resource. Because in that game,
I will give you 5 chickens.
I will give you these 3 sheep for those 2 logs. And a brick. It's how much people really want that brick. I really want that brick. They're not easy to come by. Anyway.